Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
For Brian, this was the most monumental podcast of his life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
Oh,
it really
man.
is a Tuesday when we're
It really
recording
is. For us, it actually is a Tuesday. Oh, man. This week is going to be fun. One, we are back after a little bit of a break there. I was doing my jobby job, my day job, and traveling to Dallas, Texas for Podcast Movement. And it was fun. It was really fun. I've never been to Texas before. Got to try some really good Texas food.
Yeah, get some of that barbecue.
Oh, I did.
Did you try boudin with that sausage with the rice cooked in it? Oh.
I did not. No, but I tried a lot of Tex-Mex. I was surprised by the amount of Tex-Mex that was there. Like, and the fact that everyone loves margaritas there. I've never seen another place that's just like all about the margarita. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's close to the border-ish.
Dallas.
Texas is huge. Yeah.
I mean, Texas is huge. I figured like if we were closer to like San Antonio and those areas, like maybe that would be it. But no, Dallas loves the margarita a lot.
I used to travel a lot, didn't do sales in Texas, and I almost ended up accidentally getting in line to go over the border into Mexico. Thank God there was a left turn I could take, you know.
Like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to go to Mexico, or do I?
It's like, what do you have to claim, sir? My podcast excellency.
I have to claim the fact that I am a fighter of streets. Oh, why am I talking about? Of course. Why am I talking about fighter of streets? Oh, that is because, folks, this week we are going to be talking about 1994 Street Fighter. And John, this is the first in our month of video game movies, right?
Yeah, it's video game month with a quick interruption.
But the quick interruption being my birthday.
Yeah.
There is.
I got a birthday episode. He gets birthday episodes only there.
That's how it works. And this year is the big 4-0 for both of us. So yeah, we had a birthday episode.
If I will say this about this movie, if it had like Powers Booth as the villain or something like that, this would be unwatchable. This would be the worst movie I've ever seen. Raul Julia elevates this movie into like I basically enjoyed this movie for how terrible it was because of him and him alone.
Okay, you're coming right out of the gate. But yes, this is an awesomely bad film to its core. There's nothing good about it, but it's so fun to watch. And like I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid, and I thought it was fucking terrible back then too. I was like, this isn't good. Like, this has nothing to do with the games. But then you play the game, and you're just like, kind of a little bit, right? Like a little bit of like the games.
Well, here's where this movie made all of its money, because it did okay-ish at the box office, but it was home video. And I'm like thinking, this makes perfect sense. If you're an 11-year-old boy having a sleepover, you're going to rent this and Mortal Kombat. You're going to rent like Star Fox on Super Nintendo. And you guys are going to eat square pizza and drink Slice and eat Cool Ranch Doritos and stay up till 7 a.m. You know,
that, and you might also rent barbed wire for nighttime.
Oh yeah, well maybe when you get to 13, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you start with Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to Mortal Kombat,
and then Kylie Minogue makes you feel weird in Street Fighter, and you're like, I think I need to rent barbed wire now.
So this movie, I remember seeing the ad for this. Like I remember reading a magazine. I think it might have been like, oh geez, with Starlog or one of the movie making magazines back in the day.
Oh, you're going old school here.
Yeah. I used to get those from like the magazine rack in grocery stores. And so
you're reading the trades.
No, but just some movie making ones. I had interest in it back then. But I think it might have been Starlog that I saw the full page ad for this movie, and I thought it was so fucking awesome. And then I went to go watch it, And I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it on home video.
Like I said, yeah, that's where most people saw it. Yeah.
And it was just god awful on so many levels, but fun.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Mhm.
were you a Street Fighter man or a Mortal Kombat man?
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
A Street Fighter dude.
Well, here's the way I always looked at it. Street Fighter and all 19 versions of the second game that are all the same. Just pick one.
Championship edition.
Turbo. Yeah.
Turbo.
Street Fighter was a much better game, but I, as a kid, loved how much parents were pissed off by Mortal Kombat.
Oh my God.
I'd love that.
Well, you know
And
what's
the
funny?
fatalities.
You know what's funny, John, is that I really believe that nowadays, I don't think the Gen Z has an understanding of how much shit Mortal Kombat got from parents over the digital blood. Like, we're not even talking about anything crazy. We're talking about digital pixelated blood and digital pixelated skeletons. And that was enough to cause Phil Donahue's, guest collection to fill up with angry parents. It's kind of almost the same thing as like when Batman Returns got all crazy because people were like, there's so many violent sexual things in Batman Returns and it should be a kid's movie. And oh yeah, we forgot that Tim Burton's a weirdo goth kid who just wants to make that movie. It's like,
yeah. Well, people need to relax because, like,
yeah,
you use the example of Batman Returns. I was 7 when that came out, and all of the like double entendres and innuendos, they went completely over my head. I was just happy, and I was never once remotely scared, of anything. I just thought it looked neat, and and then when you get older, you go, oh, there's a bunch of shit I missed here because I was 7. Relax, people.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing for me was that it was like Michelle Pfeiffer was my first crush.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was,
weirdly, my first crush was Julie Newmar, so we both had Catwoman crushes.
Well, we're both Batman fans, so it kind of goes there hand in hand. But Julie Newmar, that's classy. But yeah, I mean, parents groups flipped out about video games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. But honestly, like you watch the movie and it's so far removed from all of the things that made those games not only great, but then also like made them a lightning rod for anger from parents. Well, this is like one step above a G film.
Well, what's so ridiculous is that I feel bad for the writer. And by the way, the writer / director wrote fucking Die Hard.
Not just John. He didn't just write Die Hard. He wrote Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, Running Man, Commando, and then Hudson Hawk. Not going to talk about the last one. Not going to talk about the Hudson Hawk. Okay. Just saying, he wrote all these amazing movies and Hudson Hawk. And yeah. Okay.
We just now mentioned 2 movies that have the same miniature poodle in them. Batman
and he also wrote Judge Dredd.
Well,
Mr. I Am the Law.
Nobody bats 1,000. But this is written by, this is based, from the guy that wrote Die Hard, but he has an unenviable task. Like, the game is you pick which character you think looks the coolest and you smash buttons and hopefully you win, unless you got that one kid who was able to get on the internet at school before like internet was really a thing and got those codes online. And it's like, he always wanted to play you. And I'm like, I'm not playing you. The 36 button combo. It's not going to be fun for me.
That's like playing pool with someone who brings their own pool cue.
Yeah. And like,
I will never, no, I'm not. I've seen, what the hell is the movie with Paul Newman?
The Hustler.
And yeah, I've seen The Hustler. I know what this is like. I'm not doing this game. But yeah, or the kid who has the Game Shark and Game Genie. Well, back then it was Game Genie. Game Shark came out with by the fact that this guy wrote some really awesome action films. And then this is his, I mean, he had made another film prior to this. The person we're talking about, of course, is Stephen de Souza. He had made another film in the 70s, but this was his only other directing gig.
Yeah, he was one of those like what's his name who wrote like the Lethal Weapon movies, Shane Black. Yeah, Shane Black, like really noted Hollywood screenwriter, the guy that did Showgirls, you know, like when you know the writer's name,
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven, yeah. Oh, well, the writer of the movie I meant though. But when you know a writer's name and they're not a director, that means that they've hit a cultural touchstone, because you never usually know the name of the writer unless they're a director as well. So
writer is kind of an unsung hero on the film, because they're not the person behind the camera, they're not calling the shots, not the actor. They're just, we wrote the story. Okay, cool. Come back when you've got more pages.
Well, so what I don't understand about this movie is the fun part of the game was doing the special powers of each character, Ken, Ryu, you know, Blanka.
There's no Hadouken.
Yeah, Hadouken.
Hadouken.
And like, you just take all of that out, because like, so apparently I heard that Stephen de Souza wanted to make, he pitched this is G.I. Joe, the movie, but with Street Fighter.
He says Star Wars and James Bond.
Okay,
he says I'm looking literally at the. He quoted it as saying he did not want to make a generic martial arts movie, and described the film as a cross between Star Wars, James Bond, and a war film. And in addition, he indicated that he also did not want to shoehorn elements from the game. You know
what people,
even though you're
for?
Even though you're making a fucking movie based on a video game, I'm not going to put the stuff that's in the game. So yeah, and honestly, this was because of the fact that Super Mario Brothers had flopped so fucking hard. Which I'm like, that also didn't include any things from the game.
So they learned the wrong lesson?
Yes. It's like, wow, good job. You're just going to keep bashing your head into that wall and not turn. Like, it's just going to keep doing that.
So it's like, if I was to like cheat on my wife and then be like, and then she leaves me and go, well, I guess I got no choice but to cheat on her. It's like, no, you learned the wrong lesson.
You learned the wrong lesson. You're not supposed to keep doing that. Oh, well, but I got no choice now. But yeah, and Capcom was basically all encompassing in the production of this movie. You know, one of the things that I found with this film that is kind of blatantly obvious is how much seems to be cut out,
or
along with the tone.
Yeah. So much of this movie, they ran out of money and time. And so there's a scene where characters are captured, and they use like post-production effects to explain that they've been captured, because they never filmed anything. So they use text and still pictures. They'll be like, yeah, and then this happened. You didn't see it. You're not going to see it, but it happened because we didn't film it and we don't have any money. And the studio demands probably, I don't know. It's probably a summertime release. I don't know.
Well, it's not only that, John, like they,
it's Christmas. Yeah.
Well, Capcom had forced major cuts on this film because of the fact that when it was first assembled and first sent to the ratings board, it was given an R rating. So it was given an R. Probably. So whatever else is in there is hard enough for ratings board to say, okay, this is an R. So they
Kylie Minogue just raw dogged in it.
Oh Jesus, you're going there already. I was gonna say that they forced Stephen de Souza to cut down the film. They got it cut to like a G rating, and I guess they're like, that's a little too generic. Yeah. Throw in like a couple swear words in there to bump it up to PG-13. That was the modus operandi for the film.
Which is
just ridiculous. Terrible.
I don't understand how Capcom was breathing down the neck of this production when everything that made the game, but everything that made the game successful, the director's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. You know, and it's
Yeah, I mean, you choose a different director.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So let me say, what is your goal for this film? I want to make it Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do any of the shit from Street Fighter. And on top of that, I'm going to make that movie G.
Look, I want to make a Resident Evil movie, but I don't want any of them stupid zombies in it. I just want people lost in a mansion.
Oh. Well, speaking of behind the scenes drama. Okay. So I think it's worth mentioning. Granted, we haven't even talked about like the plot of the film, but we're going to get to that.
Plot?
There's plot.
Bison wants to rule the world, and
but, yeah,
that son of a bitch, Bison. And
well, you brought up the voice there. We gotta talk a little bit about Jean-Claude Van Damme. And boy, oh boy, I knew he was bad in this movie. Yeah. Okay, for our audio only audience, John is sniffing his nose like a coke fiend because Jean-Claude Van Damme at this time that this film was being made was real deep into the substances, like real deep. And I'm not going to make light of someone's drug abuse and that sort of thing, but I will say that he was on a 10 grams a day or $10,000 per week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And keep in mind, this was 94, 93, 94. So this is like right at the time that he's at his peak. This is Time Cop.
Time
Cop was 95, but
yeah, that's $500,000 a year on coke.
That's insane.
Yeah,
insane. And he was a
horrible
person to work with.
I was thinking 10. That would be 10,000 a month, a week. No, that's much more than that. Sorry.
Yeah. But this, reports from the set said that Van Damme was frequently calling in sick. He forced the crew to film other scenes and reshuffle the shooting schedule continuously. And to make matters worse, the studio actually appointed a wrangler to manage Van Damme, but ended up being a bad influence himself. Here's
the thing. If you are prone to substances yourself, which apparently this wrangler was, and Van Damme was like, you can either keep after me or we will go to the titty bar and I will buy you all the drinks and give you all the coke and get you all the lap dances and we'll get blowjobs behind a dumpster at 3 a.m. And he's like, that actually sounds pretty good to me. I'm not actually going to do my job anymore.
John, your Jean-Claude Van Damme voice might be my favorite one.
I will freely admit, my Jean-Claude is like a 2 out of 10. It doesn't sound like him at all.
Well, you made him like somehow French-Canadian. I don't know why you're doing that.
See, I should just do Tommy Wiseau. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. He's I don't know where Tommy Wiseau is from. I think he's from around the same area. There you go.
Nobody really knows.
Nobody knows. But yeah, so the drug use was bad. He was horrible to work with. Really held up a lot of the production. And I'd say like that might be the worst thing, except for the fact that in later years, it came out, I think in his memoirs or I think an article came out of it that Jean-Claude was also having an affair with Kylie Minogue while his wife was pregnant. I'm sorry. This version of Jean-Claude Van Damme is kind of shitty and very much not the version of Jean-Claude that I've always liked, which was, the Kumite version of him.
Well, I mean,
Bloodsport.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yes. You're not yourself if you're doing 10 grand a week of cocaine. You're not, if you're doing 10,000 of any drug a week, you're not yourself.
No. And the thing is that, in some of Jean-Claude's other films, it doesn't show that that's happening. Like I'm not going to discount the fact that he probably was on substances during some of his performances in other films, but like it comes through real hard in this film that something is going on because his acting level is so batshit Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
like real batshit Looney Tunes.
Except when he has to be serious. He's like, they tell us we could all go home, Mark. But it's like, and I'm like, this is supposed to be his like today we celebrate our Independence Day speech, and it's like I'm falling asleep watching it.
Oh, I don't fall asleep. I don't fall asleep during that scene.
Yeah.
I don't fall asleep during that scene. That scene is so glorious because you've got the nerdy guy from Ace Ventura When Nature Calls just saying, we can deal with General Bison. It's like, yeah. Just like you dealt with the Wachati and the Wachutu tribes in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. You're not doing shit.
But
and that's where he says he's going to shove that thing up his ass and
so
that he
far
has no
up his ass.
Yeah. Well, he's like, you lost your balls. It's like, that guy is from the UN.
Yeah. This is literally kind of his thing.
That's your boss. You just said,
non-violent solution.
You just lost your balls.
Yeah.
Oh,
but essentially,
so glorious.
He encourages a bunch of other people to join him to commit a terroristic war crime.
Listen, he was fighting against a dictator who has magnetic floating shoes. Okay. And he's clearly an American because he's got an American flag tattoo, despite the fact that his accent isn't at all
that kind of drives me nuts because recently Riff Tracks, for people that don't know them, they used to be the Mystery Science Theater guys, and they did a live thing in movie theaters recently of Time Cop. And one thing I forgot about Time Cop is that they go out of their way to explain that he was born and raised in Brussels, which Jean-Claude Van Damme actually was, to explain what his unbelievably thick, distracting accent. This movie is just like, yeah, he's from Jersey. Oh, sure he is.
Yeah, sure. Well, he's got the American flag tattooed on his biceps, so he must be American, despite the fact he doesn't sound like that.
My favorite thing from this, too, is that when the word got out of his unprofessionalism and how this movie underperformed at the box office, for his next movie, he was like, I want the same $20 million you guys are giving to Jim Carrey. And they went, you do realize you suck, right? We're not giving you $20 million.
What was the next movie he tried to do? I'm just curious.
It might have been Time Cop, but Carrey didn't get 20 million till Cable Guy. So probably whatever he was shooting in 96.
That might have been. I mean, well, Time Cop came out 95.
Yeah. But yeah, he wanted that
Sudden Death was 94. Correct?
Which is the greatest movie of all time because it has the Pittsburgh Penguins in
it. Oh, well, do we want to dive a little bit into this movie's plot? Do we want to take a dive into the plot of Street Fighter?
It is weirdly, it's kind of like a Robert Altman movie because we get introduced to all these different people on different paths who eventually join the same cause of like the good guys, the bad guys, and we get just like Raul and Ken, who are like
you've got a whole you're jumping through a whole bunch. You're not even setting the stage that we are in Shadaloo.
Yes.
Asian country of Shadaloo, which I don't think that's a real place. I think it's made up.
It's not, and I for a movie like this, like, good on them for not being like, this is Laos. Like, oh, that's in bad taste. Make up a country.
Make up a country.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a civil war happening within the country, and the AN, not the UN, because we got the Allied Nations. Okay, not the United Nations. They they got rid of a civil war that was happening, took care of the guerrillas, but now they're dealing with a drug lord who's kind of acting like a terroristic dictator named M. Bison. And he has kidnapped a bunch of aid workers, and he wants a shit ton of money. He wants $20 billion in ransom in 3 days, or he's going to kill all of the hostages. And the only person who could stop him is Guile, who is the commander of the forces on the ground, who just hates Bison for no reason. We don't know why. It's never explicitly stated why he has a vendetta against him.
Bison doesn't believe in freedom and apple pie.
Sure.
And grandma's kisses. You know,
it could also be because of the fact that Bison kidnapped his best buddy, Carlos Blanka.
By the way,
who's gonna become Blanka, the green monster.
Blanka is my favorite character.
He's always I was always a Vega fan.
Okay,
loved Vega.
That's you love the Matadors. What can I say?
No, I like the fact he's got a claw and he's got a cool ass mask.
Yeah.
Okay. He also had some of the hardest moves to try to master because like he could in some settings he could like climb shit and like I can never get him to climb shit and then be able to like dive bomb people. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the setting. So it's really a matter of Guile trying to figure out where Bison's located at, and we get introduced to a shit ton of characters that John had mentioned.
What I didn't understand about Bison's plan, because this movie reminds me in just one very specific way of Air Force One, because when Gary Oldman's goons, hijack Air Force One, they have on there, the president, people of his cabinet, like very important people in the like how the government works. None of the people that Bison kidnaps are ever mentioned as being really important, and I hate to be cynical, but I imagine the AN would be like, go ahead and kill them because we don't want to give you billions of dollars and they're just random ass people.
I think you're thinking about reality. You're not thinking about fantasy, and that's kind of sad. I don't know what that says about us. It'd be like, yes, in reality, we would have let those hostages die.
Yeah.
Because we don't negotiate with terrorists. But yeah, I think that is kind of the sad nihilistic point of view, is that nowadays it'd be like, those hostages are dead. You're not going to get $20 billion. No one's going to give you that, Bison. I don't care how many floating helipads you have.
But yeah, as you mentioned, kind of very aloofly, but purposely, is then we get introduced to Ryu and Ken and Chun-Li, and E Honda.
Sagat.
Yeah, and Sagat. And I think it really kind of comes down to, you probably focused on whoever your favorite character to play was, and their scenes, and you probably just kind of zoned out if it wasn't like one of your favorite characters.
That is 100% the truth. When I first saw this movie, I saw Vega show up. I'm like, fuck yeah, Vega, cage fighter. And I realized he's a bad guy. I'm like, oh, that's shit. But I still like him every time he's on screen. But yeah, I didn't really give two shits about Ryu or Ken or like why they're there. Granted, their reasoning for being in the film is kind of tiny, which drives me nuts, because like if you watch the Street Fighter anime, did you ever see the Street Fighter anime movie?
I'm aware of it. No, I haven't.
Okay. So in that one, which I think is more closely related to the video game, and is much better, Ryu is like a major league character. Like he is the guy. He's above Guile and all of these guys. So like to see this movie where Ryu is kind of like a copy of Ken,
which they were.
They kind of are. Like, yeah.
It's like Sub-Zero and what's his name in
Scorpion.
Mortal Kombat? Scorpion in Mortal Kombat.
And Reptile.
They just changed the color. Yeah.
Yeah. But their characters are kind of just pawns that are used by both Guile and Sagat, because Sagat's like a secondary antagonist in this film, and as well as also Bison. They're just passed around these different characters. Like Guile uses Ryu and Ken to be able to infiltrate Sagat's gang so that Sagat can lead them to the location of Bison's lair, because apparently his lair, even though it is a giant like Buddhist temple, hard to find.
It's like that thing about like James Bond can't find where the supervillain is. Like, dude, he hollowed out a volcano.
Yes, he hollowed out the volcano. I'm like, think about this guy for a minute. he's grandiose, he probably would take something like a giant Buddhist temple and turn it into his, lair, because of course he would. That's the type of guy that Bison is. He also prints his own face on money.
Hey, well, those are going to be worth 5 English pounds.
British pounds, which will be enough money once I've kidnapped the queen.
I love that everything is just so batchy. He's going to kidnap the queen. He's got his own money. He's got hostages.
Oh god. Okay, let's talk about characters, and let's start with our favorite one, which is Bison. Okay.
Oh, I mean,
let's
Brian,
start with him.
You're starting with cake, and then you're going to want us to eat oatmeal.
Oh yeah, well you got
Yeah.
to do that. I mean, come on, that's the only way that we could eat this turd sandwich. Okay, is we got to start with the cake.
As I said at the beginning of this episode, he makes this movie worth watching, and it's just like, I don't know how somebody can have sincerity and be over the top at the same time. It's just like he did in the Addams Family movies. Like, has the world gone mad? It's like there's passion there, but it's also
My
absurd.
brother, passion's hostage. I seek justice. Denied.
And just like, I kind of wonder if he just came on set, looked at the script, and went, "Yeah, I know who this fucking guy is." Like, I know. Yeah.
Well, he took the role because of the fact that his kids were fans of it, and then on top of that, like, he knew he was dying. Like he knew he was dying. I think stomach cancer is what he died from, and you can tell. Like I think I remember reading that when they filmed this movie, they filmed the fight scenes first, because of Raul Julia's condition. So like if you look at him in the back half of the movie, he looks a little less gaunt compared to the non-fight scene moments, because he had lost a shit ton of weight. And I didn't realize it at the time, but like when we watch, I'm like, oh yeah, no, he definitely is shrunk in the beginning of the movie compared to the fight scenes at the end. And that's because he was clearly, like, he knew he was on his way out.
And apparently he was nothing but an absolute delight to work with. Everybody
I'm not
said
surprised.
He was charming. He was always professional, on time, kind, and I compare him being in this movie to if I made something my sophomore year of undergrad with all my college buddies who aren't even actors, and I somehow also got Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's the exact opposite of Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Yeah.
Like, it really is the exact opposite work ethic and everything. And he is, and that all comes through in his character. He is so zany. He is so wacky. He has some of the best one-liners in the film. Like, John, you had mentioned at the top of the show, he kind of did a riff on his best line, which is, the day that Bison graced your village was the most important day of your young life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Oh, Brian, you can't say that that's better than not for evil,
but for good. Carlos Blanka will march from my laboratory.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I want
the Pax Bisonica.
Next time I need to do a monologue for an acting role, I'm doing that one.
Oh yeah, no, you have to do that one. I wanted to face Bison I wanted to face him on the battlefield. The road not taken. But see, why do they call me a warlord and mad?
See, the thing is, you mentioned that your favorite character is probably the one that's only like pretty damn close to being video game accurate. Yeah. Meanwhile, I've got my favorite character looks worse than Lou Ferrigno in The Incredible Hulk.
Are you talking about Zangief?
Blanka.
Oh, Blanka. Yeah.
What? I mean, how is this 1994 and it looks shittier than Lou Ferrigno's makeup work on The Incredible Hulk from the 70s? It looks, so bad.
Well, like that not only that, but like I still don't quite understand how they transformed him from a man into half man, half beast green thing in like 48 hours.
Well, also you don't need to transform him if everybody in this movie has like magic powers like they do in the game. Just make it that's part of the universe.
Yeah, like there is a moment in this movie when Ryu actually does do a Hadouken, and it's
Sort
like,
of.
It's like a flash frame. Like they're like, okay, we know someone is gonna say, why is there no Hadouken in this movie? So let's just throw a flash frame in there and call it a day. So like they're doing a half measure to try to get the magical shit. Well, but yeah, you gotta get the
Hadouken in there, because like even if you never played Street Fighter, say like fighting games aren't your thing, if you walk through an arcade in the 90s, you would walk by Street Fighter and hear Hadouken. You know, even nobody was playing, it would go to that like where it's just clips.
Not only that, how many mornings at the bus stop were you and your buddies just doing Hadoukens at each other?
Yeah.
I know I was doing Hadouken. Yeah. And then there's that third one that's what is the kicking thing. but yeah, I like Blanka in this. It's kind of a missed opportunity because they show it most of the time he's just in a status chamber being fed the weirdest fucking propaganda that Bison's just like, educational television. And it's like all horrible wars and violence and grossness. It's basically
Clockwork
like
Orange.
Yeah, it's Clockwork Orange. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But the savior of Blanka is Dr. Dalsum, which they completely butcher his character in this film because they're just like, okay, we're gonna make him just a nerdy scientist, even though he is a Buddhist type of character in the original film, in the game, who has like the power to like stretch his legs.
And he wears the skulls of his dead children around his neck. Yeah.
But he's got like crazy powers.
See, this is so fascinating to me about the late 80s and early 90s. Like, they would just take a popular entity, whether it's a video game, comic book, cartoon, whatever, and they would just let these directors run mad with whatever they wanted to do, even though the audiences for a Batman, a Super Mario Brothers, a Street Fighter, a Ninja Turtles are coming because they're an existing property that they like. But the directors would go, no, I don't want to do any of that crap. I'm just going to do whatever I want. And it's like, well, there goes your audience, idiot. You know?
Why do you think, though, that there was such a resistance to trying to be kind of faithful to the game? Like, why was that such an issue? What's your thoughts on that?
I think, again, it's, you're not, if you look at something like, say, Mortal Kombat now, like the movie that came out and then the sequel that's coming out, that probably is directed by somebody who grew up playing the game, loving the game. But video games were, for the longest time, considered just for kids. And when you got a 45-year-old man asked to direct a Street Fighter film, he's never played the game before and he doesn't give a fuck about the game. But I can understand why that director would want to kind of change the whole thing, especially since he wrote it. What I don't understand is where Capcom didn't go, no, like, this is our baby and this is why it's successful. You have to do it this way. I will never be able to explain why Capcom just rolled over and died.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, just because, I could understand like some other production company coming in and being like, we have no idea how a video game works. We don't have, like, I can understand that. But for the company behind the game to be like, yeah, no, go ahead, Steven, you do whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure it's PG-13. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Now, the game that I mentioned that was made a movie is, the Super Mario Brothers movie. That one makes sense to me because Nintendo basically divorced themselves of it. They went, yeah, you can make a movie. Never kept an eye on it. So now, you've got this weird, Blade Runner meets Brazil meets, I don't know.
I still love it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's Trust the Fungus. I still still lug it. Dennis Hopper's greatest performance. Either that or Space Truckers or Blue Velvet. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's talk about some more characters because we got plenty of them.
Oh, I would like to mention Cammy, who
Kylie Minogue.
Talk about being miscast. Kylie Minogue, from what I've heard, is a very lovely person, very successful music artist, but she is fucking terrible and is not supposed to be here. I mean, I also heard that she was lovely and that she would take like the cast and crew out and buy drinks and meals and stuff after shooting, and everybody really enjoyed her. I mean, apparently Jean-Claude Van Damme enjoyed her more than most, but yeah, she's not good.
But I don't blame her though. I don't know. I don't blame her because think about this, John. Like, this movie, one, gives her nothing to do other than to repeat what Guile says. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, literally, that's what she does. She repeats what Guile says to Guile, or calls out something to Guile. That is all this woman does. So she doesn't have any agency at all in the film for anything. So there's no room for her to shine. There's no room for her to do anything other than just be, oh, yay, that's Cammy from the game. See, she's in the same outfit from the game.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't
fault
her. Yeah. I don't fault her at all. I mean, it's the same thing with like, who else is in there that I'm like, I didn't realize this person was in there. So like Sergeant Hawk is in this. Like I Thunderhawk. I don't even remember that character, but yeah, same deal with him. He doesn't do anything. So there's just these other characters that are just there, almost like what are they called in games when they're non-playable characters?
NPCs. Non-playable characters.
That's what these are. Kylie Minogue as Cammy and Hawk. They're just non-playable characters that are just there as Easter eggs. That's it.
I mean, in fairness, and I'm going to walk this back in a second. Like, in fairness, not everybody is going to get equal screen time, but I can't help but feel that there's some underlying 90s misogyny that the female characters don't get screen time.
I'll give you another one. The character of DJ gets more screen time than Cammy does.
I played this game. Who the fuck is DJ? I don't even remember.
DJ apparently was another character in Street Fighter 2. He was a new character added, but he was the one who was like the tech.
Oh yeah,
who says I should have stayed at Microsoft.
Yeah, you should have. You'd probably be rich as fuck by now.
Yeah. Played by Miguel Nunez, who you might remember from Return of the Living Dead.
Oh no,
yeah, there you go. But yeah, like they gave him a whole bunch of things to do, which I love his reactions to Bison. Like he realizes that his boss is a fucking weirdo.
See, and there's other characters in this movie that like I don't even remember anything about, like E Honda from the game. Like I don't remember anything E Honda did in this movie though.
He did some sumo fighting things with Zangief where they sounded like Godzilla.
Oh yeah, okay. It's kind of bad. Like I just watched this again for this episode, and I don't really remember anything.
Well, towards the end, there really isn't much of anything going on other than these little vignettes. Like you get this whole battle. Like it's almost like they realize, okay, we set up all these things. We got to like have at least 2 minutes of trying to resolve it. So like there's a whole thing with Ken and Ryu and Vega and Sagat. So they have a whole little tussle thing where Vega's face gets burnt because of course we have to have that. And, Sagat gets the crap kicked out of him by Ken, and Ken realizes he's not a piece of shit like Sagat. Well, we have to have that moment. Chun-Li gets her moment where she beats the shit out of Bison, but, is not willing to finish the job.
We haven't mentioned Chun-Li. I think she made us all feel funny when in the arcades.
Yeah, she did. Well,
And I just
what sucks about Chun-Li is like they clearly wanted to devote a lot of time to this character, and I think if you want, you mentioned earlier about Cammy not getting much to do, and that might be a misogynistic type of thing from the early 90s. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, Chun-Li has a lot of developed characteristics to their character in this. Like, you get this whole backstory about the fact that Chun-Li's father was killed by Bison, and that she's really out for revenge, and she's on Tuesday, and she's kind of infiltrated media to be able to get access to him, and aligned herself with people like Balrog and Honda, and get so close. Like, she actually kicked Bison's ass harder, I think, than Jean-Claude Van Damme did.
Which, if he was not coked out and he found out about it, he'd be pissed.
But
I watched the dailies, you son of a bitch.
But she actually did, because like Bison being Bison didn't think much of Chun-Li and didn't think that she posed much of a threat, but she actually was the one person who could very easily kick his ass. And the reason that she didn't kill him is because of E Honda and Balrog showing up. Because of course.
Don't sleep on Chun-Li,
No.
I every time I had to go up against Chun-Li in the game, I'm like, this bitch is kicking my ass.
I mean, it's the kicking thing. Like, honestly, like you get and then you jumps really high and he'll kick your ass. Yeah, no, she's very, very powerful.
Well, what's interesting to me about this movie, and I understand that Street Fighter the game did not have really a main character. It has a final boss like every video game. Doesn't really have a main character. You pick whoever is your favorite, and that's your main character. But do you feel that it's kind of just shoehorned because they wanted big star power of Jean-Claude Van Damme? Did you ever feel that Guile was the main character in the game?
No.
Yeah.
I never felt Guile was. I again, like, for me, there really was no main character in the game.
Yeah, whether it was the arcade or Super Nintendo, I never even knew anybody who picked Guile.
I mean, I always either picked Vega or I picked, if I really wanted to be an asshole, I did pick Blanka, because like I would just button smash the lightning powers that shoot out from him. So like anytime anyone tried to like get near you, and I remember my brother and I would because I had one of those, and this is a complete side tangent but kind of related. I had the Sega Genesis that had one of those like third-party controllers where you could like switch the buttons up and actually like make them automatically hit the button to cause like certain moves. So I remember having that controller, getting Blanka, and then flipping the switch on it. So like I didn't have to press a button to make him do the lightning shootout. And I would just sit there. Like I'd play my brother.
Oh, you're that asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But then we would play Mortal Kombat 3, and then my brother would do the Quan Chi stompity stomp on my ass every single time. And I would get pissed off, be like, you fucking asshole, quit stomping my ass every time I try to move. But he's like, that's what I do.
That's what I'm saying. You go over to that one kid's house, and then he would have like 17 pages of combos. I'm like, I'm not going to have any fun because I just basically smash buttons. You're just some kind of fucking 4D chess expert at this shit.
Or you're like me, and you're just like, I've got a remote control that can I just press. I flip a switch, and boom, I'm doing that same combo automatically.
You're like Homer with the Krusty Burger hamburger. Yeah. Like, stop, he's already dead.
Yes. Oh shit. What other characters we got here?
Well, I can't help but mention my buddy Zangief.
Okay, I'm glad you were going to mention it.
Played by Andrew Brennadarski, who famously burped in my ear.
So. I don't think you can leave that and not talk about having Andrew Brenner. How did you pronounce his name?
Honestly, I never got so far as to even interview him. So
Brynjarski?
Yeah, Brynjarski.
How did he burp in your ear, John?
So I was talking to him through the social medias, and he gave me his phone number. He's like, bro, yeah, seriously, bro, give me a call, bro. Let's sort this out. He's like, I finally got through my dental surgery, and I told you would be the first one I'd interview, bro, or give me an interview, bro. And so I call him, and he picks up. The second he picks up his phone, oh, hey, sorry about that, bro. Hey, what's going on, man? And I'm talking to him, and he goes, look, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna need, man. I'm gonna need a $5,000 retainer for an interview. And he went, bro, what I'm gonna dish, you're gonna make that 7 times over, bro. I'm like, I'll get back to you.
I'll get you 5,000 Bison dollars.
Wait, you know what? I don't need to get him 1,000 Bison dollars.
Yeah, that's right. They're worth 5 British pounds. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, I understand that certain celebrities need to make money to live. I fully get that. And honestly, like, that's why I don't complain at all when they go to conventions and they charge what they do.
Sure.
I get that.
That's how they make
fine.
a living now.
That's how they make a living. But no one in the right fucking mind is paying $5,000 to a celebrity for a podcast interview.
He's not a celebrity. Ever. He's Chip Shrek.
Oh, come on. He played other roles too. He was Leatherface.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
After Gunner left the role.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
he's
did
a
that.
big dude. He's like 6'6" or something.
He also was Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula's Guest from 2008. I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. Not $5,000 worth, but I mean, to each his own.
Well, here's the thing. I reached out to Martin Sheen, and he told me that he would do an interview for $600. Obviously, I didn't do it, but like, because I don't really pay for interviews. But
no.
But the thing is, like, if Martin fucking Sheen wants $600, yeah, West Wing, yeah, that guy, Wall Street wants $600, and Andrew wants $5,000, it's like, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think Andrew is hilarious as Zangief. Like, change
the channel.
Quick, change the channel. Just everyone looks at him like,
it's the only really good joke in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah. No, there's so many good jokes in this, John. I mean, come on. You didn't see that, did you, Sagat? Okay. But yes, quick change the channel is definitely at the top of jokes in this. But he's so funny. And, like, I didn't see him turning towards the end of the movie as a good guy because he realizes he's not getting paid. Oh, God. But, yeah, Zangief's hilarious. And I would say very comic. Not comic, but video game accurate.
Yeah. One of the few.
The few. Him and Vega are video game accurate. And speaking of Vega, I do want to talk about them. Last two really are Vega and Sagat. Vega doesn't do much in this movie, which as a Vega fan, I'm like, oh, really? You're not going to even... You made him look cool. Good job.
He comes off more in this to me as Don Flamenco from Punch-Out than he does.
Yeah. I mean, he is that character, though. Like, he is very vain and, always throws the roses. Like, that's him. But, like, they just make... I don't think he has any lines in this movie. I don't think the actor who played Vega has any lines in this film.
If he does, it's maybe like look out or something, something.
Yeah. But Sagat, played by veteran character actor Wesley Studi, who you might remember from such films as The Last of the Mohicans, Geronimo, An American Legend, The New World, Avatar, Mystery Men, A Million Ways to Die in the West. He's done a lot of films.
Well, also don't forget WWE wrestlers starring Randy Orton's movie, The Condemned 2.
Oh, how could I forget that one? But yeah, I actually like Sagat in this one because, like, I never would pick him in the game because I'm like, I don't want to fucking Sagat. But
I mean, he did have like the fact that he could stretch, like, did give you a reach against your opponent.
he could stretch, and Dalsum could stretch. Yes.
Yeah.
He had the didn't he do the tiger uppercut?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dalsum did Buddha Flame. That was his thing. But yeah, I like Sagat is kind of a criminal, like, you know, underlord type thing in this movie rather than his character, because I think it fits better with the whole idea that Bison is a warlord and a drug runner who also kind of needs to have a supplier, and it kind of does fit a bit more that Sagat is that person. But yeah, this movie isn't good. And we haven't even talked about some of the ending of the film. Which do we want to go into the ending of the film?
You mean where Bison gets moon shoes?
Well, I was going to say it starts with as we talked about earlier, Jean-Claude Van Damme tells his boss to go fuck himself
and commits war crimes. Yeah,
and he steals a boat that is, and this hurts my brain. He steals a stealth boat, but the problem with a stealth boat is that it's going to displace water, right? Like, did you get this? Because I got this when I didn't realize it.
Maybe they thought it was going to be dolphins. Maybe it's dolphins or something. You know?
No. So there is a boat that is invisible to radar, and then of course, because it's a movie in the 90s, they also made it an invisible boat. Okay, so Guile has this boat, and I'm going to switch this to camera 1 here so you can see this. Guile's got this boat. It's invisible to radar. It's invisible to Bison. He can't see it. But you can clearly see in the footage that there is a depression of water that is being displaced because of the fact that it's a fucking power boat on the river. Like, there's no way you can't look at that and go, like, shoot that thing that's causing a displacement of water in the river.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Being
just shoot that.
Yeah.
It's like in Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country, when they're like, how do we kill the Klingon bird of prey when it's cloaked? Well, the thing's got to have a tailpipe. That's it. This is the tailpipe. But Bison is tricked by this. Guile shoots off a whole bunch of the radar that kind of, is helping Bison out at his lair, and eventually, like, the boat gets blown up. But yeah, this battle kind of ensues where, as I mentioned, everyone kind of gets their own little moment to beat the shit out of, whoever their villain is. And the piece de resistance, if you will, is the battle between Guile and Bison.
Yeah. I mean, the whole half end of the third act of this movie is 9-year-old's wet dream. Like, I get to watch all the characters ninja kick each other.
I mean, that's the same reason why we love Avengers Endgame, is because of that ending part. It's all your toys.
All your toys. Yep.
And that's it. Which I'm fine with that.
It's where, Bison starts flying around the room, kicking.
Well, he gets killed. He gets killed by Guile. Okay. And then I guess somehow has like a backup battery, or he's like juiced up because of
it's Terminator 2 logic.
Yeah, it is.
Alternate power.
He gets juiced up by his like floating anti-gravity desk thing, and he comes back to life, and now he's got floating moon shoes.
Which, by the way, did you have those moon shoes when you were a kid? Because I nearly broke my ankle about a half a dozen times on those.
You mean like the Nickelodeon moon shoes, like the jump ones?
Yeah.
No, I never had those. I always wanted them.
I fell so many times, and like, if I was an adult, I would have smashed my ankles. But
they stopped making them because people were getting injured.
Yeah, but as a kid, I just lucked out on not like maiming myself. But I should have. It should have.
I mean, when you think about it, you're basically strapping trampolines to your feet.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea.
And my mom would let me go into our furnished basement and just hop around.
Yeah,
that.
So you're falling on hard concrete.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I never had those moon shoes. I always wanted them though. But yeah, getting back to the film, Bison's a god now. At least that's what he tells Guile, that he should support his godhood. Which I'm like, I don't think gods say that ever.
Well, according to the fucking Bible, do
they say you better support my godhood?
Well, essentially, if you don't believe in God, you're gonna burn in hell and vile and lava and torture for the rest of your fucking existence. But God loves you.
But he loves you. Yeah, he's got floating shoes. He shoots lightning now. And long story short, Guile kicks his ass and he falls into a bunch of TVs and blows up.
Because America.
He says, Guile, you're off air. Or Bison, you're off air. America.
It's like, I mean, look, Van Damme, stay in your lane. The one-liners are for Arnold, you know?
Or they're for Bison.
Yeah. Of course.
Of course. Oh, shit. All right. Do we want to get to my surprise?
Yes. Dear Psychos Nation, I was told that there was a surprise. Brian teased me because, like, did not give me a fucking inch on what a surprise means. So,
no. Okay. So, normally, this would be the time of the podcast where I would pull up reviews of the film. Usually from Letterboxd or IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. I want to do something a little bit different by pulling 4 of the best quotes from the movie and for our video audience, accompanying images from the film. So, John, are you ready for these? Now, I will be fully honest with you. I found most of these from a Screen Rant article because I'm like, well, that kind of solves my research right there.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at these. Okay, so let's look at.
I was born for this. Let's go.
Quote number 1. Quick, change the channel.
The only thing that actually lands is organically funny. I mean, there were times where I laughed in this movie because it was stupid, but I wasn't supposed to laugh. That was like the only time that they had a zinger in there where I'm like, good job.
Yeah, no, they were like, okay, this is a ridiculous premise. There's a truck with a bomb on it that is running towards the encampment that Bison has set up where he's doing all of his black market like sales and shit. And of course the dumbest character is going to think that the way he solved this is to change the channel. I'm like, okay, Steven, you got one.
This is your yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
This is your yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. Quick, change the channel. All right. Let's look at best quote number 2. His death was designed to ingratiate his spies on you. I guess you didn't see that, did you?
See, I don't know how it's not every line. It's just Raul Julia. Because, like, every one of his lines is gold. Even if there was a line in the movie where he went, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Could you say it again? Him delivering it would be one of the most famous lines of all time.
Well, I mean, he chews up every bit of scenery and doesn't relent. I think he was just like, you know what? This fucking video game movie, I'm going to have the most fun doing it. I don't care. And it reads all the way through. And
he knew exactly what he was making.
He didn't care. This, again, as you said earlier in the show, this is Gomez Adams. When you're that character and you jump to this, you know what you're getting into.
Well, and I think, you also don't even have to direct a guy like him. Like, I imagine, like, the table read, like, Steven was probably like, okay, Kylie Minogue, you might want to, like, actually maybe deliver like this because this is what what you're feeling in the scene. Oh, and Jean-Claude Van Damme, like, you might want to, like, bring up your anger a bit because, you know, what Bison has done to you and your men. And it just turns Raul Julia and went, you're fine. No notes.
Yeah. I mean, do you really think Steven E. D'Souza was like, here's the characterization I want for this person? They didn't just have like the little mini book from Street Fighter, the game. Like, you know, every game back in the day came with like a little mini booklet about like the bio of them. It's like, so according Cammy, to your character, You don't do anything.
Yeah.
You just repeat what Guile says. And that's it.
But you got a great dumper.
Okay.
Well, remember at the end of the movie, what I call the Team America ending, when they're all supposed to be jumping from an explosion, and she just turns around and shows her butt. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that was what the character did in the game.
Well,
they didn't care. They didn't care. That's what the character did in the game. All right, let's look at funny quote number 3. John, I need you to read this.
I'm not going home. I'm going to get on my boat. I'm going up river. I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard. The next time Bison wannabe, I'm gonna feel it.
Horrible Jean-Claude Van Damme impression. But,
no, it's not.
but I think that's what makes it great.
It does. Well, it's so crazy because it's like this is like the most badass moment of the whole film.
Yeah, I should have read it.
That son of a bitch Bison.
I'm going to kick
that
son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard. The next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Yeah, no, it's so bad. So fucking, you're like, how many bumps of cocaine did Jean-Claude Van Damme do to get through that line?
Well, see, you're like, if you are a coke addict, like you crash, like I wonder if on set they went, shit, get him some coke because we have 3 hours of shooting, even though we're trying to stop him from doing
and
it.
And the PA, the best part, the PA probably was like, okay, Mr. Van Damme, do you want diet or do you want regular coke?
You son of a bitch.
I want white powder.
Mr. Souza, I think I got his Colombian nose candy, sir.
Give it to him, Jeff. Great. Whatever.
Great. All right, let's look at the final best quote of the whole film. For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday.
You didn't see that, did you? Oh, so good. So good. I love all of those quotes. Love all of them. Well, John, final thoughts on Street Fighter.
Well, I don't want to say spoilers because we could release our entire recording schedule. There's no big surprises. But next week, we're going to be doing Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation.
I don't think next week.
Is that not next week's?
No, next week is, I believe, birthday episode.
Ah, okay. Well, we are eventually
during Video Game Month, with the exception that's next week, gonna do Mortal Kombat 2.
And I've recently rewatched both of these movies, and it is incredible to me how much Raul Julia saved this movie, because Mortal Kombat 2, I felt embarrassed watching. I felt embarrassed for the filmmakers, the actors, and like this movie will always have Raul Julia as Bison, and it makes this film watchable. Again, if he's not in it and you get some B- other guy in there, that it just doesn't work. But because he's in here, this movie is so fucking enjoyable. It's bad. It's fun bad. But that's the big difference, is a movie where it's so bad it's good because there's a lot of fun to it, as compared to a movie that's just bad and you're like, I can't wait for this to stop. This movie is so bad it's good, and I give 99% of that to Raul Julia. It was a blast, even though it's an absolute garbage fire of a movie.
I 100% agree. If you didn't have Raul Julia in this movie, it would be forgotten, in my opinion. It really would be. And it is this is the epitome of awesomely bad cinema. It's good. This is one of those movies where, like, I could watch this by myself and I'll be okay. We've watched some real stinkers on this podcast, Neil Breen. And they're always hard to get through. You know, like even I'm not even trashing Neil Breen, just him. Like remember when we did Last Vampire on Earth, and that one was hard to watch.
Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Yeah.
Cool Cat Saves the Kids. I mean,
we could go on and on. Yeah.
Really just bad movies that maybe would be fun if you watched them in a group and you were very drunk. But Street Fighter is a bad film that's a fun ride. Like it's a fun ride. I can't and the badness of the performances are part of the kitsch here. Okay. It's part of the allure of this movie is how god awful the performances are. But yeah, as you didn't have Raul Julia, this would be completely forgotten. This would be like what the hell movie was Double Dragon.
Oh yeah, I wondered if that's what you were looking for. Yeah,
you know, that's what
nobody remembers that movie.
No one. Yeah, if I asked anybody, you know, I'm sure there's some person who's listening to this podcast who's just like, oh, I remember Double Dragon. It's the fucking greatest movie of all time. I don't know what the fuck happened in Double Dragon.
Well, I mean, I played one. Well, I loved 1 and 2. 3 sucks, but like of the video games,
I'm talking about the movie.
But that's what I mean. Like, so I was a fan of Double Dragon. Don't remember a fucking second of the movie.
No. But that's because they didn't have someone like Raul Julia chewing up that scenery and making it a fun ride, even though it's a shit sandwich of a film. You know. Well, it's been fun talking about Street Fighter. I feel like that we glazed over a lot of things, but like
but did we?
I don't know. Like we didn't talk about the fact that Bison's like hovercraft has a video game arcade controller of the globe.
Well, they wanted to give a little something to the kids.
Yeah, or the fact that like it has a Siri that doesn't stop talking and talks about everything. Like there's so many little things about this film that are just so weird. Like I realized while I was watching, I'm like, why is the Siri voice in every fucking scene?
Right. See what the way you're describing this is like you're upset if somebody only wrote 1 paragraph explaining Cheese Whiz instead of 30. Like it's,
I guess,
you know, it's not like, oh no, we missed that Bison had a sled named Rosebud that is reflective of this loss of innocence.
I guess I just expect more, John. With that said, John, where can they find you at on the internet?
Let's see. You can find me Woolscroft Media.
Oh, look at that. You got cards.
And it's reflecting weirdly because it's glossy. Over on Facebook, you can find Woolscroft Media. You can also find me over there. You can find me at the Cinema Psycho Show, which I feel almost like we never mention because it's kind of meta.
Yeah, we don't never mention that.
Yeah, but well, yeah, I mean, you do at the end, but you can find me at JDub's Video Nasties, where I have currently shelved, I not just for my mental health, but because I have to focus on spooky season. I've shelved American Beauty. It's written. I haven't shot it yet, but I'm shelving that because I have a script written for So Many Questions Ghostbusters because I need to start focusing on spooky season. So, yeah, that'll be what's coming up next over there. And yeah, I guess that's basically it for Pitt.
Cool. Well, of course, if you have loved this episode and loved our discussion of Street Fighter, please do me a favor and share this episode. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with your favorite 90s video game buddy, right? Like whoever that buddy was that would kick your ass in Street Fighter, share this episode with them. They might enjoy it. And of course, if you really want to be a cool fan, you can follow our podcast in your favorite podcast app of choice. You can do me a favor and click the buttons right there and then, and follow us on your favorite app of choice by going to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. There's buttons right there. Click them. You can follow us on whatever app you use. Of course, if you want to, you can also subscribe to us, not follow, but subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. The algorithm really likes that sort of thing. So click the like button, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That will make sure that you never miss an episode. Okay? And also leave us a comment or a review. That's kind of cool too. And with that said, we will see you next time.
Here's the beauty of capitalism. This is a movie based on a fighting game. And after the movie came out, they made a fighting game based on the movie.